but statistically, Nalyssa Smith has been the worst player in the WNBA this year. And people are like, oh, Angel Reese the lowest plus minus. No, the Chicago Sky are garbage with or without her. Statistically, Nalyssa Smith is the worst player.
The WNBA has witnessed many cautionary tales, but few as stark as Nalyssa Smith's dramatic fall from grace following her departure from the Indiana Fever. What was meant to be a fresh start alongside her girlfriend DJ Carrington at the Dallas Wings has instead become a masterclass in how quickly a player can reveal their true character when the spotlight shifts away from them.
I guess Coach McPrentice is trying to clean up from last game's episode.
Just small things like, sprinting to screens, executing the offense better, being better defensively, communicating a lot more. We were very silent last game, so I think that was our biggest struggle. So just communicating.
Smith's lackluster performances and apparent disinterest in team success have validated every criticism Fever fans leveled against her, while simultaneously highlighting just how much better Indiana has become with Sophie Cunningham stepping into her role as someone who truly has Caitlin Clark's back. Nalyssa Smith's post-Indiana Fever career has unfolded like a cautionary tale written specifically for players who mistake individual opportunity for team commitment.
Smith is becoming a nightmare. It's quickly becoming a nightmare for the Wings. And I don't think it's fair to say she's becoming a nightmare. It is what she is. Nalyssa Smith, she's the worst defender I've ever seen in pro.
During her time with the Fever, Smith masqueraded as a contributor while consistently failing to provide the kind of support and protection that a generational talent like Caitlin Clark deserved from her teammates. Smith's tenure with Indiana was marked by a pattern of behavior that became increasingly obvious to anyone paying attention beyond the box scores. While Clark was busy transforming the franchise into a cultural phenomenon, selling out arenas, and elevating women's basketball to unprecedented heights, Smith seemed more interested in going through the motions than genuinely investing in team success.
I'm not expecting much from her this year, and the Fever or the Wings fans have already turned on her. I think they've realized, it's no longer just the Fever was not the right place, Stephanie White was not the right coach. There are obvious flaws in her game that, unless she is the number one option, I don't know how much longer she lasts in the league.
The breaking point came when reports surfaced about Smith's alleged betrayal of team trust, with sources suggesting she may have leaked Indiana's play calls to rival players, including her girlfriend, DJ Carrington. This wasn't just poor judgment, it was a fundamental violation of the trust that forms the foundation of any successful team. While Clark was pouring her heart and soul into every possession, Smith was allegedly undermining the very strategies designed to maximize the team's success. What made Smith's behavior particularly egregious was her failure to step up as a protector and advocate for Clark during the intense scrutiny and physical play that followed the rookie sensation throughout her debut season. Great teammates understand that protecting your star player goes beyond basketball. It's about creating an environment where excellence can flourish without the constant worry about whether your own teammates have your back.
Seeing is some of the aggression, the fight, we're not going to stand up for the nonsense this year. I loved seeing that after the first two games. When I think back to last season, when I think back to a few instances where, you know what, the team looked like they had some fight. The team looked like they had some fire. They didn't look like a bunch of...
If you are enjoying, please subscribe. Drafted second overall in 2022, Smith entered the league with accolades from Baylor University, where she averaged 22.1 points and 11.5 rebounds as a senior. Her rookie season stats with the Fever, 13.1 points and 7.7 rebounds per game, suggested a player poised for stardom. Smith's defensive win shares, a measure of her contribution to preventing opponents from scoring, plummeted from 1.4 during her rookie year to 0.7 by 2024. This statistical freefall coincided with increasing fan complaints about her reluctance to set hard screens or fight through picks to protect Clark. While Clark faced double teams and physical defense, Smith often appeared disengaged from crucial defensive rotations, leaving her teammate exposed to aggressive opponents. Smith's decision to push for a trade to Dallas Wings in 2025, ostensibly to reunite with Carrington, laid bare her misaligned priorities. The move came at the worst possible moment for Indiana. During Clark's historic rookie campaign that saw the Fever's attendance spike by 189%, Internal sources revealed Smith had grown resentful of the media attention focused on Clark, despite her own declining production. Her final months in Indiana saw a dramatic dip in efficiency, with her field goal percentage dropping from 49.3% in 2023 to 41.2% by April 2024.
Nalyssa Smith, the former Fever player that apparently is predicted by everyone who doesn't know basketball to be a starting five member of the Dallas Wings, does not appear to be in the starting five, or based on their practice in the even first couple of subs off the bench row.
Smith's performances in Dallas have been characterized by the same passive approach that frustrated Indiana fans throughout her tenure there. While other players battle for loose balls, dive for steals, and sacrifice their bodies for team success, Smith often appears to be playing a different game entirely, one where individual preservation takes precedence over collective achievement. This approach becomes particularly glaring when contrasted with the intensity and commitment displayed by players who truly understand what it means to compete at the professional level. The most damning aspect of Smith's Dallas experience has been her inability to demonstrate the kind of leadership and maturity that veteran players are expected to provide. Rather than using her experience to mentor younger players or serve as a stabilizing force during difficult moments, Smith has seemed more interested in maintaining her personal comfort than contributing to any meaningful team-building efforts.
There are times where I don't blame Nalyssa Smith, but there are also times where I'm like, you can't expect minutes. She's just not good enough. She's not good enough. She is directly responsible for about 12 points conceded. She scores 6. I would assume that she is a net.
The Indiana Fever's decision to replace Smith with Sophie Cunningham has proven to be one of the best personnel moves in recent WNBA history, demonstrating the profound difference between a player who understands team chemistry and one who treats basketball as merely a vehicle for personal objectives. Cunningham's arrival has transformed the Fever's team dynamic in ways that extend far beyond traditional statistical measurements, providing Clark with the kind of steadfast support system that championship-caliber teams require. Cunningham's approach to the game represents everything that Smith's tenure lacked: intensity, accountability, and an unwavering commitment to team success that manifests itself in every possession. Where Smith seemed content to float through games without making meaningful impacts in crucial moments, Cunningham attacks every opportunity with the kind of purposeful aggression that elevates her teammates' performances and creates the type of environment where stars can truly flourish.
Seeing someone like the likes of Sophie Cunningham. Sophie Cunningham gets thrown to the ground by Kiki Iriafin. Fever girls got targets on their back. Just comes with the territory. Just comes with the territory. It's up to us to be. We might have a target on our back. Doesn't mean we're gonna sit there and let you take shots repeatedly. You take shot, you better not miss. If you hit me when I'm down, make sure I'm not gonna get back up. Because when I get back up, we're gonna have something to speak about. We're gonna have something to talk about. This isn't the same Fever from last year. Sophie loved what...
The contrast in defensive mentality between the two players has been particularly striking. While Smith often appeared reluctant to engage in the physical aspects of the game that separate elite competitors from casual participants, Cunningham embraces contact and confrontation with the understanding that protecting your teammates, especially a franchise player like Clark, is a non-negotiable aspect of professional basketball. Her willingness to take charges, challenge shooters, and generally make life difficult for opposing players has provided Clark with the kind of security blanket that allows generational talents to focus purely on their offensive creativity. Cunningham's basketball IQ and court awareness have also proven to be significant upgrades over Smith's often puzzling decision-making, where Smith frequently seemed out of sync with the team's offensive flow and defensive rotations. Cunningham processes the game with the kind of veteran instincts that make everyone around her better. Her ability to anticipate plays, communicate effectively, and make the kind of winning basketball plays that don't always show up in box scores has transformed Indiana's entire team chemistry. Perhaps the most revealing aspect of the Smith-Cunningham comparison has been their respective approaches to leadership and team accountability. Smith's departure from Indiana was marked by a pattern of behavior that suggested she viewed basketball primarily as an individual pursuit rather than a collective endeavor. Her alleged willingness to compromise team strategies for personal relationships demonstrated a fundamental misunderstanding of what professional athletics demands from its participants.
All right, so Sophie Cunningham really shined with Caitlin Clark out, and she is going to be an absolute steal for the Indiana Fever, because not only does she bring a level of toughness and tenacity that the team needed, and of course, you know, they brought other players in who bring a little bit of that as well, the vets in Bonner and Howard, but there's a certain level of spiciness with Sophie Cunningham, but she's also the best perimeter playmaker on the team outside of
Cunningham, by contrast, has embraced the responsibility that comes with being Clark's primary support system, understanding that her role extends far beyond personal statistics or individual accolades. She has consistently demonstrated the kind of selfless mentality that championship teams require, making the difficult plays and accepting whatever role best serves the team's overall objectives. This approach has created a ripple effect throughout the Fever organization, establishing a culture where team success takes precedence over individual glory. The impact of this leadership difference has been particularly evident in how the team responds to adversity and pressure situations. During Smith's tenure, the Fever often seemed to lack the kind of internal accountability and mutual support that helps teams navigate challenging moments. With Cunningham's arrival, the team has developed a more resilient identity, with players consistently supporting each other through difficult stretches and maintaining focus on collective goals rather than individual frustrations. Smith's behavior during her transition period also revealed troubling aspects of her character that had been masked during her time with Indiana. Her involvement in various off-court incidents, including a reported shoving exchange during an international game, suggested someone struggling to maintain professional standards when removed from the structured environment that the Fever organization had provided. These incidents have only reinforced the growing perception that Indiana made the right decision in moving on from a player whose priorities seemed incompatible with championship aspirations.
Because Nalyssa Smith is no longer with the Indiana Fever, and guess what? She's with the Dallas Wings. Oh, good luck with
The transformation of the Indiana Fever following Smith's departure has been nothing short of remarkable, demonstrating how removing one disruptive element can unlock the potential of an entire organization. The team's improved chemistry, enhanced defensive intensity, and more cohesive offensive execution have all contributed to a playing style that maximizes Clark's extraordinary talents while creating opportunities for role players to exceed their expected contributions. Clark's own performance has noticeably improved, with Cunningham as her primary supporting cast member, suggesting that the psychological impact of having truly committed teammates cannot be understated. The confidence that comes from knowing your teammates will consistently make the extra effort, fight for loose balls, and prioritize team success over individual comfort has allowed Clark to play with even greater freedom and creativity. This improvement has been particularly evident in pressure situations, where Clark's decision-making has become more decisive and her leadership more pronounced.
One thing this Indiana Fever team has shown us they will do this year is not quit on the game. The Indiana Fever down early, come back, take the lead. Down late, come back, take the lead. The only difference between tonight's outcome and Tuesday's outcome is a leg.
The Fever's defensive identity has also undergone a significant transformation with Cunningham's arrival, where the team previously struggled to maintain consistent energy and communication on the defensive end, partly due to Smith's inconsistent effort level. They now play with a connectivity and purposefulness that reflects Cunningham's own approach to the game. This defensive improvement has created more transition opportunities for Clark, while also building the kind of team confidence that comes from knowing everyone is committed to the same level of effort and execution. The organizational culture shift has been equally important, with younger players and newcomers now entering an environment where professional standards and team-first mentality are consistently modeled rather than occasionally displayed. This cultural foundation provides a sustainable framework for long-term success, ensuring that future roster additions will be expected to meet established standards rather than adapt to inconsistent expectations. The saga of Nalyssa Smith's post-Indiana career serves as a compelling reminder that talent alone cannot sustain professional success when fundamental character issues remain unaddressed. Her struggles in Dallas and the simultaneous improvement of the Fever have created a real-time case study in how team chemistry and individual commitment interact to determine organizational success. Smith's apparent regret over her decision to leave Indiana has become increasingly evident as she watches her former team thrive while her own career stagnates in an environment where her lack of genuine competitive fire has become impossible to disguise.
And it wasn't until Cunningham got into the game that they got an injection of life. You know, Cunningham is able to shoot the ball from deep. She can score in that way, of course. She's strong, can finish through contact, and she's able to set others up, not to mention the fact that she moves without the basketball. So all of those things were big stories for the Fever in this game with Sophie Cunningham once she came in out there. And it was really her playmaking, I think, that shined up.
The contrast between Smith's approach and Cunningham's commitment has highlighted the importance of character evaluation in professional sports roster construction. While Smith possessed the physical tools and basic basketball skills necessary to contribute at the WNBA level, her inability to embrace the selfless mentality required for team success ultimately made her a liability rather than an asset. Cunningham's willingness to sacrifice individual recognition for collective achievement has not only made the Fever a better team, but has also provided a blueprint for how supporting players can maximize the impact of generational talents like Clark. For the WNBA as a whole, the Smith situation represents an important lesson about the value of authentic team commitment versus superficial participation. As the league continues to grow and attract greater attention, the difference between players who genuinely embrace professional standards and those who simply go through the motions will become increasingly apparent to fans, media, and organizational decision-makers alike. Smith's career trajectory serves as a cautionary tale for current and future players about the long-term consequences of prioritizing personal comfort over professional excellence, while Cunningham's success demonstrates the rewards that await those who truly understand what it means to be a professional athlete in the modern era.